Welcome to the Vitality Code. Let's begin with a simple yet profound statement. We are overfed and undernourished. For decades, the health industry has been obsessed with calories. We've been taught to treat the human body like a simple combustion engine. Fuel in, energy out. But the truth is, the human body is more like a sophisticated chemistry lab. The quality of the fuel matters far more than the quantity. Consider this. 100 calories of broccoli triggers a completely different hormonal response in your body than 100 calories of soda. The broccoli provides fiber, slows insulin release, and signals satiety. The soda, on the other hand, spikes your insulin, triggers fat storage, and leaves you craving even more sugar. This isn't about dieting. Diets work against human nature because they rely on willpower, which is a finite resource. Instead, we're going to use a strategy called crowding out. So what is crowding out? Most people try to get healthy by removing things. I will stop eating bread, or I will quit sugar. This creates a psychological void. You focus so much on what you can't have that you inevitably want it more. Crowding out flips the script. You focus entirely on adding nutrient-dense foods to your plate. If you fill your stomach with water, fibrous vegetables, and lean protein first, you physically won't have room for the junk. You aren't restricting, you're simply too full of the good stuff. Here's the blueprint. It's called the 50-25-25 rule. Forget weighing your food or tracking macros in an app. Visual estimation is sustainable. For every main meal, aim for this breakdown on your plate. 50% should be vegetables. Half your plate filled with plants. Think leafy greens, broccoli, cauliflower, or peppers. These provide volume and fiber, stretching your stomach and signaling fullness to your brain. Next, 25% protein. This is about a palm-sized portion of chicken, fish, tofu, beef, or lentils. Protein is the most satiating macronutrient and has a high thermic effect, meaning your body burns more calories just digesting it. The final 25% is for starch or carbohydrates, like rice, potatoes, or quinoa. These are not the enemy, but in the modern diet, they often take up most of the plate. Here, we relegate them to a supporting role. To make shopping easier, think of a traffic light. Green light foods are a go. Eat as much as you want. This includes spinach, kale, broccoli, lean meats, and eggs. Yellow light foods mean slow down. Eat until you're satisfied, but be mindful of portions. Think nuts, avocados, fruits, brown rice, and cheese. And red light foods mean stop and think. These are recreational. Eat them only when you truly want to enjoy them, not out of boredom. This is your candy, soda, processed snacks, and fried foods. Now, let's talk about the hidden saboteur, liquid sugar. If you change nothing else, change what you drink. Soda, sweetened coffees, and fruit juices are the fastest way to derail your health. They bypass your body's satiety signals. You can drink 1,000 calories and not feel full at all. The fix is simple. Swap soda for sparkling water with a squeeze of lime. Swap fruit juice for whole fruit so you get the fiber. This brings us to our next principle, the hydration habit. Here's a thought. You are not tired. You are likely just thirsty. Fatigue is the #1 complaint doctors hear. But before we blame complex issues, we must look at the most obvious culprit, dehydration. Your brain is roughly 75% water. Even mild dehydration can impair cognitive function, ruin concentration, and trigger headaches. By the time you actually feel thirsty, you're already dehydrated. Let's start the day right with the morning salt and lime flush. During sleep, you lose over a pound of water just by breathing. You wake up dehydrated. Most people reach for coffee, a diuretic which worsens the problem. So here's the protocol. Before you touch coffee or food, drink 16 ounces of room temperature water. To level up, add a pinch of sea salt for electrolytes and a squeeze of lime for pH balance. This acts as a spark plug for your entire system. How do you gauge hydration throughout the day? Don't obsess over counting ounces. Your body has a built-in gauge. Look at the color of your urine. If it's pale straw or clear, you're in the optimal zone. If it's yellow like apple juice, you're mildly dehydrated. Drink a glass of water. If it's dark amber, you're severely dehydrated and taxing your kidneys. If you find drinking plain water boring, here's a solution. Eat your water. Water from fruits and vegetables is structured, packaged with fiber and electrolytes, allowing your body to absorb it more slowly for deeper hydration. The top water-rich foods: cucumber at 96% water, celery at 95%, and watermelon at 92%. But remember the electrolyte equation. If you drink gallons of water but cut out salt, you'll flush out your body's electrical system. If you feel thirsty all day but are constantly running to the bathroom, you likely need more electrolytes, like a simple pinch of salt. Now for a bonus. Let's apply the 50-25-25 rule with a no-cook meal kit. First, the adult Lunchable. For your 50% veggies, a bag of baby carrots and snap peas. For 25% protein, 2 hard-boiled eggs. For 25% carbs, a handful of whole grain crackers with some hummus for a healthy fat. For a quick dinner, try the 3-minute Tex-Mex bowl. Start with a base of microwavable rice. For protein, use pre-cooked rotisserie chicken. For volume, dump half a bag of mixed salad greens on top and add salsa, which acts as a low-calorie dressing. And for a power smoothie breakfast, blend water or almond milk with a scoop of protein powder, a large handful of spinach, you won't taste it, I promise, a tablespoon of chia seeds, and half a frozen banana for texture. Let's move from what we eat to how we move. Remember this: you can't out-train a sedentary lifestyle.
Imagine a person who runs for 45 minutes every morning, but then sits for the rest of the day, in the car, at a desk, on the couch. Physiologists call this person an active couch potato. Your metabolism isn't just about that workout, it's about what you do during the other 15 hours of the day. Scientists call this NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. NEAT includes fidgeting, cooking, standing, and taking the stairs. It can burn up to 1,200 calories a day, far more than a gym session. If you sit all day, your metabolic engine shuts off. The strategy to combat this is movement snacking. Stop thinking of movement as an event. Treat it like a continuous practice. Use the 30 for 30 rule. For every 30 minutes of sitting, you owe your body 30 seconds of movement. Just stand up, reach for the ceiling, and reset your spine. You can also find hidden exercise opportunities. Adopt the phone pace. Never sit while on a phone call. Use the far park rule. Park at the back of the lot for free steps. And try the kitchen dance. Do calf raises while waiting for the microwave. Now, a key insight for longevity. Muscle is the organ of longevity. If there was a pill that lowered your risk of diabetes, improved cognitive function, and burned fat while you sleep, everyone would take it. That pill is muscle tissue. As we age, we naturally lose muscle mass in a process called sarcopenia. Starting around age 30, you lose about 3 to 5% per decade. We want to fight this decline, building strength now so that when you're 80, you can carry your own groceries and get off the floor unassisted. You don't need complicated machines. Focus on the big 5 movements. Squat, like sitting and standing. Hinge, like bending to pick something up. Push, like a push-up. Pull, like rowing. And carry, like walking with groceries. To build strength, you need just one technical concept: progressive overload. This means doing slightly more today than you did last time. If you squat 10 times this week, do 11 next week. The body must be challenged to adapt. For a minimum effective dose workout, try this 15-minute routine twice a week. 3 sets of 10 bodyweight squats, 3 sets of 10 push-ups against a kitchen counter, and finally, Pick up 2 heavy bags and walk for 60 seconds, keeping your posture tall. And to reverse the damage of sitting, use the desk reset routine. Stretch your chest in a doorway, open your hips with a seated pigeon stretch, and fix text neck with simple chin tucks. Now, let's talk about the silent killer, stress. When you're stressed, your body releases cortisol. In small doses, it's helpful, but modern life keeps us in a state of chronic low-grade stress. This keeps cortisol levels permanently elevated, which shreds muscle, stores belly fat, and suppresses the immune system. Your nervous system has 2 gears, the gas pedal for fight or flight, and the brake pedal for rest and digest. Most of us spend all day with the gas pedal floored. We need to manually pump the brakes. Tool number 1 is the physiological sigh. It's an emergency brake. If you feel overwhelmed, take a deep breath in through your nose. Then, without exhaling, take a second, shorter sip of air. Then, exhale slowly and fully through your mouth. Repeat it 2 or 3 times. You'll feel an immediate physical shift. For daily maintenance, use box breathing. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold for 4. It's a powerful way to regulate your system. Recovery is just as important as action, which leads us to the sleep sanctuary. Your bedroom should be designed for one purpose: recovery. Follow the cave principle. Make it pitch black with blackout curtains. Control the temperature. Your body needs to drop its core temperature to initiate sleep, so set your thermostat between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit. And finally, manage the soundscape with a fan or a white noise machine to mask sudden interruptions. Finally, let's talk about environmental design. The healthy choice must become the path of least resistance. We don't rely on willpower, we rely on design. This is called friction management.
Increase friction for habits you want to break and decrease it for habits you want to build. Start with the kitchen counter strategy. Clear the junk off your counters. Put the fruit bowl out. In your fridge, pull the healthy food to the front and push the treats to the back. Make the good choice the easy choice. In conclusion, remember the compound effect. You do not need to be perfect, you just need to be consistent. If you try to change everything on Monday, you will quit by Wednesday. An improvement of just 1% per day for a year results in a person who is 37 times better. Start with a simple roadmap. For the first 2 weeks, just drink the water. The next 2, add a 15-minute walk. Health is not a destination. It is a vehicle that allows you to live your life to the fullest. Start today, start small, and keep going.